Okay, back on, 3 notches down now because the sun's out. So we'll have some quick comparison footage there and there with the cars going through the... Actually, that might be worth, if I can see another car coming. I'm actually filming something going through that area there, but on this side of the road when they come around the corner. Of course, now we won't have a car for about 5 minutes or something coming the other way. I mean, no, I wanted to come the other way. What are the odds, eh? Oh well. Okay, so the idea here is just to go down there, go around here and down there and have a quick squeeze, you know, just test the camera out with its true to life colour now, and we've probably buggered something up from yesterday or maybe even today, so hopefully I'll be popping the champagne corks fairly soon if I'm lucky, you know. I would have gotten out, to use the American terminology, gotten out of peat finally, and have an explanation for hypernickel accumulation in plants from the Serpentine region, and you know why that is an advantage to them. I think you've probably already worked that out from, if you've been following the channel and those clips from early on in late summer sort of thing, you probably would have realised sort of thing. So you know, but it probably does need some explanation to sort of, you know, dot the I's and cross the T's, and people go, oh, now I understand. Yes, right, makes sense now. Right, that's why they hyperaccumulate the nickel. That's what gives them the advantage on these type of soils. So something that's probably hasn't been known about in the past and hasn't been written or discussed about. So, you know, it'll be groundbreaking in a way, but more so because you'll be able to show a response in growth due to that hyper nickel accumulation sort of thing, and a rapid response sort of thing. So we'll see, but you know, it's getting out of peat, you see, because the argument they would have is that peat doesn't naturally grow in serpentine areas sort of thing, you know. Well, I'm saying places, vast areas like Western Australia with the patchy serpentine, you know, because we are a continent significantly devoid of true, you know, sphagnum peat sort of thing, unless you take the eastern, you know, coastal parts of Australia into account. The rest of the continent basically is pretty much devoid. It seems like hypnum moss seems to somewhat fill that void of a sphagnum-like moss that forms somewhat of I wouldn't even say it forms you know, a surface layer, because we have bushfires, of course. So, you know, if it forms a light surface layer over a number of years, because we're such a dry continent, it takes a lot longer for that to build up. You know, a few centimetres and we have a bushfire every, you know, 4, 5, 8, 10, you know, 15, 20, you know, 50, 25, 50, 100 years sort of thing, depending on what sort of major fire event in various parts of the continent, and it's gone, you know, it has to restart again basically. So that's why I'm really trying to tend to suggest that, you know, this idea of peat would be a blockage point, you know, get in the way of the argument. So basically you had to get out of peat to say, well, you know, I'm just doing it with normal cellulose, you know. If you can do it with normal cellulose, basically you turn your normal cellulose into a type of peat sort of thing, basically. That's how you go, wow, look at the barkage on that. Yeah, anyway, we'll see how we go. So that would be what's the word I'm looking for? Inhibitory point, a bottleneck sort of to the argument, blah blah blah. And I don't know what that is, so I'm trying to avoid it, but that's going to probably lead to slippage. So. Oh. Anyway, so we'll see how we go. So basically, it's sort of the struggle over the last couple of years is basically trying to get out of peat and get into something, and basically learning. Basically, it's been a journey of discovery to find out what peat really is, and realise that you can actually probably make it yourself, but it's pretty far out there. Trying to extend, from the environment what it really is, sort of thing. And gee, that's a late Christmas. So we'll just go through here and film our favourite little crossover point here. I don't know where all the cubby makers are. Blessed are the cubby makers. You thought they would have been out on a day like today. This would be fun, build a nice cubby and you're in there nice and snug and dry in your own little cubby, and it's absolutely pissing down outside. But okay. Okay, so it'll be a cheap bottle of champagne, put it that way. I can't afford them, really. Well, there you go. What about that over there? Okay. I used to have solid ones, but I think solid ones you can get there. It's easy to get over, so they replace them, and oh, here we go. Let's go for a spot colour. Oh damn, we're on spot colour for some reason. Oh god. Okay. Well, is that going to make a good screenshot or what? I don't know which is going to be the best. Okay, now back to 49 area. So all that work I did back there is going to be slightly out of focus. The usual walking around here. Oh, it's going to run out. I'm going to have to start a new clip from here. I've lost my train of thought too. I was on the serpentine hybrid nickel accumulation bandwagon, and I've lost my train of thought. Derailed it somehow. Where I was going anyway. 17 more seconds on the card. They said, how do you get these bloody beautiful shots? Well, it's not that you have to go out at the right time of day, you just got to wing it sometimes.